Hiya, Barbie.
Hi, Ken! We are currently in a lineup to go see the Barbie movie at our local drive-in.
Mm-hmm. This is fun.
There is a long line of cars ahead of us, so yeah, we're just on like a little date night basically. That's what we're doing. And I convinced Gordon to go see Barbie with me.
I agreed because I love her.
Does that give you the award for boyfriend of the year?
I hope so. I feel like I might be deserving it by the time the movie starts.
So yeah, we'll be giving a review on the Barbie movie. Obviously, I don't want to play record it on my phone because that's bad.
Yeah, that would be bad. I have heard things.
What are the things you've heard? Vlog it. Tell the camera.
What haven't I heard? I've heard that they told us that if men don't go see this movie, they're sexist for some reason. That's not why I'm coming, by the way. Nuh-uh. Apparently there's an awkward scene involving children destroying Barbie dolls? Question mark? Weird. More on that later.
But yeah, anyways, I'm excited to see the movie, regardless of what he's been hearing online. We'll let you know after the movie.
I've been trying not to tell her so she can see it with an open mind. I also want to know if she likes it or not.
Yeah. So. The hype that this movie has, though, is it's OD.
It's a lot of hype. But things have been hyped before. Like Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Anyways,
we'll let you know how the movie goes. We'll touch base periodically during the movie if it's really that bad.
Alright.
Anyways, if you're new to our channel, please hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, and give this video a huge thumbs up. Alrighty.
Right. We'll see you in a minute. Bye-bye for now. Now, which way is the end?
Probably around that way. So the drive-in failed. We're trying Cineplex now. There's a movie at 9:40, which is it's 9:04 right now. So now we're just going to navigate the parking lot. Hey, so apparently last night the drive-in and Cineplex just never happened because it was really rammed.
Wow.
So last night we ended up going to my favorite dessert place called Dimitri's.
Got her brownie points.
We shared a brownie points, and I bought tickets last night at Dimitri's for today to see Barbie at another Cineplex.
Make sure we actually got in this time.
And yeah, so we got in, we watched the movie. I feel like my opinion is going to be, I have less to say because, I was just laughing, the entire time during the movie.
Most of it. Well, okay.
Most of it.
The first little bit.
Well, there was parts that I liked, and there was parts that I didn't like. I feel like Gordon would have more to say on the movie, so I'm just gonna get my opinion out of the way, just so he can voice his opinion, because men's opinions are valid, okay? It's not just the women who need to blah 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 and be the only ones to voice their freaking opinions, all right? Men have a say too. So without further ado, my opinion was, so the movie starts basically with introducing all the Barbies and all the different Ken dolls, right? And I love the beginning because, well, they made a joke at the pregnant Barbie, if you don't remember from back in the day, from the late 90s, early 2000s, how no one liked a pregnant Barbie, because honestly it was weird.
Very weird to have a pregnant doll made for 6-year-olds.
And I remember the synopsis of the Barbie was you lift up her tummy and you just get the baby out, and then Barbie has like her little baby, and then you like put the baby back in.
Concept. Why? Just why?
It was weird.
Don't.
So like
It's-
the
no.
movie kind of played on that, which I really liked. And that was like pretty consistent, like all throughout the movie, that they were just like kind of pooping on the pregnant Barbie because it was weird. I remember that.
Don't forget Growing Up Barbie.
Oh, yeah, growing up Barbie. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch about that because I didn't really have an opinion on that, but I really liked how like Michael Cera just played like Michael Cera. So yeah, the beginning was like, it was really good, and then when Ken starts to embrace the patriarchy, that's kind of where the movie started losing me a little bit, like in terms of my interest, because like Ken's writing for a while was kind of really messed up, and I'm sure Gordon will also touch base on this. I didn't really like how they portrayed Ken for a vast majority of the movie until about the last third of the movie. That's where I regained interest in the movie
I'd say
again.
maybe a quarter. It would really... It's only really that much, though, because the ending was long.
Yeah, but the ending was hilarious. So there was a huge chunk of the movie that I didn't really like, and that's where like we get into like the patriarchy and all that. And then where I like regained interest again was like all the Kens. They were like battling each other, and then there was like a huge dance off that kind of gave like Grease Lightning like vibes to it. It was hilarious. At some point in the movie, towards the end, we meet the creator who invented Barbie, and the movie was left off on a really good message, in my opinion. Like, even though Barbie has kind of like caused a lot of people to have like body image issues, and I'm not validating that or anything, the inventor kind of came out and said like, no one looks like Barbie, not even she looks like Barbie. Barbie was created with her daughter in mind, and that I really like, because like growing up and playing with Barbies, like it was kind of a thing. Like my mom had her whole collection of Barbies, and obviously I had a collection of Barbies, so it's like it's kind of that mother-daughter thing. On the bright side, the movie ended on a positive note, in my opinion. I'll let Gord take the wheel to voice his opinion.
Now. Taking the wheel's a strong male male archetype, don't you know? But anyway, yeah, I kind of agreed. They should have kept it all taking place in Barbie Land, like the Lego movie, mostly. Again, I have beef with Will Ferrell just because he looks too much like my dad, and I don't find him funny. I don't find him funny. Doesn't mean he's not to some people. I just don't see it. The first quarter of the movie was okay. The last quarter was fine, I suppose. The battle scene was kind of funny. It was almost unwatchable in between it. It really was. Like, it was just painful. I know Ken is always supposed to be like this surfer dude, airhead dude that doesn't really do much because, you know, the doll line's made for 6-year-old girls. So why would there be a big focus on the Ken dolls? I don't know. But, I mean, that's really for Ashley to explain, I think, why there would be Ken dolls be prominent. But and as far as I was aware, he's just basically a quote-unquote side piece.
In my opinion, I feel like Mattel, I can't speak on Mattel's behalf. Sorry to interrupt you, but
It's fine.
I feel like Ken was probably created with the intention of getting boys interested.
And
It didn't really work out. Hypothesizing that may have been their intention.
They were probably putting forward an idealized boyfriend figure, I guess. I don't know about that. But anyway, we're not here to psychoanalyze the Ken doll in general. It's just there was no brains. And their opinion of men was very clearly displayed. And if that's all they think of men, then I just don't know. It's just not, it's not right. It's not accurate. It's not, there's so much secret, like, gray area, false information. It was put on display in this movie. I just couldn't get behind it. As soon as they transitioned to the real world, that was it. That was toast. The movie was done. You can't. Nothing, no situation that Barbie goes through, and I think Ashley agrees, in the real world is actually possible. Like, actually possible. Right now. Here. At all. Like, no one would ever behave like that. Like, in the trailer, you can see in the trailer that she gets her butt smacked. Not good, not cool, No one can get behind that. That's fine. She knocks him out. But the actual act, I have never seen in my life. And I've spent a lot of time on subways, okay? I have never seen it in my life. Have you seen it?
Like a random guy going up to a girl and slapping her butt?
Random girl, tappy tap.
No, I mean, I've seen married couples engage in that.
Married couples and boyfriends and girlfriends are one thing. That's
at
a
least
different dynamic.
that I'm able to recognize as that they're a couple. I mean, I don't know. I may have seen it. I may not have. I can't say for sure. I don't think I've seen that in real life. No.
No. So that never happens. And then there's the construction workers. Do you know what would happen to any construction worker that ever talked like to a woman, any situation while on the job, even if they're on lunch like that? They would not have a job. They would be ostracized. They would be fired, and he would not be able to be hired by anybody. I once knew a guy that was up in the top of a building. There was no one around. There was nobody. He lit up a wacky tobacco cigarette, and he got called on by somebody in the building across the ways that was 20 floors up that saw it. Because they watch. They all watch. You don't get away with shit like that. And as soon as someone did that right now, the phones are out, and he immediately gets put on blast in the media and at work. That doesn't it's not, no one does that. And I was part of those crews. There were horror stories of people that even looked at the female welder the wrong way. And the female welder, guess what she did? She went immediately, directly to her supervisor, said that you were making her uncomfortable. And that man that looked at her the wrong way immediately got fired with no questions asked. They didn't even talk to him for his side of the story. Okay, that's an actual real world occurrence. That has happened. And that happened 15 years ago. Okay? So you can't tell me that it's worse now. So everything that was in the middle of this movie, just in the middle here. So because the beginning and the ending were decent.
Enjoyable.
They were decent. They were enjoyable. I'm basically, as soon as they get into the real world, it's toast. And nothing makes sense. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And their portrayal of the Mattel board, I looked it up in the movie theater. They misrepresent that hard. Like hard. Okay? It's all white men.
In the movie, Mattel plays it off like there's only white men in the board of directors for Mattel, but this is all like everybody who's on the board of directors currently. As you can see, it is not all white men as they portray in the movie. There are women on the board of directors.
I did look up an actual like row of photos of the board from Mattel. They've got at least 6 women on the board. At least that was what Google showed me. I may have been like misinterpreting maybe 1 or 2 of the photos. They might have not be on the board right now. I don't know. But there were a lot of women on that board. There were a few, at least. The behavior was ridiculous. Ken had no brain. He was an airhead. And he never had a single original thought in his brain at any point in this movie. It was like the first thing that was suggested to him. It's the portrayal of men in this movie is insulting to men. It really is, and it's sad. They could have done it something real. They decided to take it way off the deep end. The only agreeable male figures in this movie had serious queer undertones. There's a line where the guy says, "I'm a man with no power. Does that make me a woman?"
Like, people always thought, like, Ken was, like, Barbie's boyfriend, and then, like, Mattel kind of, like, well, I don't know who it was. Was it Mattel, or did we just, like, change our minds that Ken and Barbie are not boyfriend and girlfriend? I don't know. It was kind of implied, like, from the beginning, like, that, you know, they were boyfriend and girlfriend, and that it was always a thing, but...
They nuked that in this movie.
Yeah.
They totally nuked it. But you'll find that the idealized version of a man from a modern woman's perspective is a gay man who is also interested in them, which is kind of an oxymoron. But I'll let that slide, I guess. But anyway.
That's all I had to say.
That's pretty much it. The portrayal of men, and especially Ken in this movie, was not cool, to say the least. he could have had better set of lines. And if you made it to this part of the video, we should have mentioned this earlier. Don't trust the full seat counts at the theaters. Period. When we looked last night, the whole theater, except for a few seats, including the ones that we actually ended up getting, were full. Full. Like no space. But when we got there, at no point did the lower spots fill up.
Yeah, like the first like 3 rows, like down at the base, right at the screen. I'm sorry.
There's like 4 or 5 rows of seating, like right up near the screen, like in front of where you walk to get into the rest of the theater. None of them were filled. None of them. There wasn't even a someone with a disability down there in a chair. Nobody was there. But when we looked, they were all booked solid. Like the theater was packed. But no. The front row, fully empty. And when I looked around, there were the occasional spot. I'll take that as being so someone did no-showed for their tickets. Fine, I guess. But the first 5 rows, nobody was in them. And the theater says it's full. That doesn't sound right to me. I'll let the other YouTubers that analyze these sorts of things comment on that.
If they actually have gone to see the movie.
If they've actually gone to see the movies. Now, I did hear that some people said that there were them and no one else in the theaters. Ashley, you told me about that.
Oh, yes. Last night, I was reading through comments on like an Instagram post that was about the Barbie movie. Feelings. Okay, so there were a lot of bot comments, which I ignored them. One that appeared to be a real person. She said that she went to see the movie. Now, I don't know where she was located, but she went to see the movie and apparently no one was sitting in the theater of where she was, which I found a little suspicious because when we went to the drive-in last night, there was a huge line of cars, probably all there for Barbie. When we went to Cineplex last night, the one nearby to the drive-in, there was no seats available, just a wheelchair seat, which I didn't feel right occupying. And we had to go to a 1:30 show today. Today is the 22nd of July. We had to go to a 1:30 p.m. show because that's the only one where we could actually get any seats whatsoever. And for a vast majority part of it, yeah, it was full. Like Gordon mentioned, maybe some people did a no-show for their tickets. Or, well, when we did buy the tickets, there were still some vacant seats.
Yeah.
But it was mostly full, so that was pretty accurate, I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, the front 5 rows, like at the very bottom, like on the actual floor, that didn't seem right.
No,
and it doesn't seem like Cineplex wouldn't sell those tickets. I mean, it would be very uncomfortable to be sitting there to watch a movie. I get it. It's a possibility that they may not.
Lots of movies sell those seats.
I've sat in those seats to watch Jurassic Park.
I sat in those seats too.
Or Jurassic World,
to watch Avatar.
Sorry. Yeah.
To watch Avatar, the first one with the blue aliens. I sat there gladly for a good movie.
But that's just like a Cineplex issue.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the actual movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's no reason that they shouldn't be selling those seats. None. Especially if the movie theater was as full as what we saw. So, I think somebody's mucking with the numbers.
Possibly.
That's totally not legal perspective that, I don't know what I'm talking about, legally speaking. So don't sue me, please.
It's just an opinion, yeah.
It's just an opinion. So anyway, hope you enjoyed everything. And if you do choose to go see it, to
your discretion.
Viewer discretion advised.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we hope you enjoyed this video. Please give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel and turn on your post notifications for future video endeavors.
All right. So we'll see you later. Bye-bye.